Cappie here, and I am making Portuguese stew tonight. What I have cooking in the pan is onions. So I'm sauteing an onion in olive oil, and then I'm adding red potatoes, which instead of dicing, I cut them in big slices and I'm sort of slivering them, just to give them a different shape than a dice. And I want to I cook the onion first for about 3 to 5 minutes. And then I'm adding the potato. And I'm going to season the potato with a little bit of salt and some pepper. I like to use fresh ground pepper. It just adds a lot more flavor. And to kick that up a little bit, I'm going to add a little chili powder, one of my favorite ingredients. If you've been watching my videos, you probably figured that out by now. And some granulated garlic. One of my favorites is called garlic garni, and it comes from the Garlic Festival. And if you email me, I can give you more information on that. And I'm going to add just a little bit of that because the soy riso that I'm going to add later is going to add a whole lot of flavor to that. So I'm going to let these vegetables cook for about 5 to 7 minutes until the potatoes are soft. And then we'll continue with the recipe. Alright, so the potatoes and the onions have been cooking. And one little hint that I have to keep the fat lower on recipes, as your food starts to stick, if you add a little water to the bottom of the pan, that'll help deglaze, which means remove the stuff that's sticking to the bottom of your pan. And that way you don't need to add more oil to it to keep it from sticking. So the potatoes are done now, and if you can see that, they're nice and brown in color. I also put some red bell pepper in here. That's optional, but I like the flavor of it. So now I'm going to add soy riso. It's like chorizo, but it's a soy product, and it comes 2 to a package. And for a full recipe, I'm going to use 2, but I'm just making a half recipe tonight. So I'm just adding one of the 2 containers that come in the package. And this is already a cooked product, so I'm going to just brown it a little bit before I add the rest of the ingredients. And I'm just breaking it up with my spoon to brown it. Alright, get the water out of the way. So, I've got the soy riso in there. And next I'm going to add some tomatoes. Now you can add about a cup or 2 cups of fresh diced tomatoes if you've got some fresh ripe tomatoes. You can add a can, and I'm going to add a can of organic diced tomatoes to that. Then I'm going to add some sliced Kalamata olives. Now this is going to give this a lot of flavor. Not too many. Just about a 1/4 of a cup. I'm going to add, if you want to keep this vegetarian, you can add vegetable broth to it, or some white wine. So I'm going to add about a cup of broth. I'm going to turn the fire up a little bit because I want this to boil, just to give it a stew consistency. And then I'm going to add some fresh parsley that I chopped up there. And as soon as this boils, I am going to put a cover on it and let it cook for, I don't know, 15 minutes to an hour. Just depends on how hungry you are and how long you want to wait. So there we are. That's it. I'm going to put the lid on it, and we'll be back in a minute, and I'll show you the finished product. All right. So it's been an hour. And the Portuguese stew is done, and it's delicious. I wish you could smell this. So you can serve this over rice, you can serve it over boiled or mashed potatoes or roasted potatoes. And I like to put spinach underneath. So tonight I'm just going to serve it over a bed of sliced and shredded spinach. So there's all those wonderful vegetables. This is a vegetarian dish, but you can add chicken to it if you like. And there it is. Now to top this off, I've made some homemade crème fraîche. And it's like a creamy sour cream. And what I've done is I've taken non-fat Greek yogurt and I've mixed it with a little non-fat milk, and I'm just going to top that right there, a little creme fraiche on top. So there we have Portuguese stew, and I've served it over a bed of spinach. Thank you. Have a great night.